I'm Nancy Grace. Thank you for being with us. Live, Florida. A beautiful little second grader. Looks like an angel. Walks the 10-minute walk home from school with her brother, her sister, all their little friends. She gets separated just momentarily. Broad daylight. 7-year-old Summer Thompson. Never seen again. It's been barely 24 hours. She could still be alive.
Police dogs searched the area around little Summer Thompson's home. Deputies went door to door, then lined up to scour nearby woods as a helicopter searched from above. It's now been more than 24 hours since the second grader was last seen after school.
That's the hardest thing, you know. Tell them there's danger out there. And she's just very sweet and loving.
We had an attempted abduction here in the city of Orange Park about 10 days ago.
I'm just thankful that my daughter got home safe. This car stopped her. I lured her to the car, wanted her to get in the car, and my daughter said no.
There was a blue four-door sedan, possibly a Nissan, that was involved in this incident. If anyone knows anyone that drives a car like that matches that description, that would just be one area that we'd like to look into.
7-year-old Summer Thompson last seen where she went to school at Grove Park Elementary.
She's a 7-year-old girl. It is dark outside. It's very cold out here. It is a very concerning situation for us.
It's just been a roller coaster. We keep holding and hoping that we hear something.
Straight out to Tiffany Griffith with WOKV Radio, joining us from Orange Park, Florida, there at the command post. Tiffany, thank you for being with us. What is the latest? This is so hard to take in. She's with a group of children. It's broad daylight. They get out of school around 2:45 p.m. This couldn't have been much later than 3 p.m. What happened?
And what we're also hearing, Nancy, is that it's very normal for a lot of the kids in this neighborhood to make that simple, quick walk home. And this is what we're hearing. 2:45, she made the walk from Orange Park to Orange Park Elementary School. She was with her little brother. She was with a few of her friends. And then at some point there was a little fight and she ran ahead of them. But at some point between when the other kids got to the home at about 3:05, they couldn't find her. She had disappeared and nobody knew where she was. By 4 o'clock, the mother calls home to make sure that all of the kids arrived home safely. They said, Summer's not here. By the time the mother got home, she flagged down a deputy, and at that point, several officers started to increasingly arrive here in this Orange Park neighborhood, and there's just been a massive police presence in this area ever since.
Okay, Tiffany, let me get something straight. They get out of school at about 2:45, correct?
Correct.
Her twin brother and her sister, they're home at about 3:05, right?
They make it home, correct.
In 20 minutes, this 7-year-old girl is gone.
No sign of her anywhere, and officers say that they have questioned everyone in this neighborhood, including the 57 sex offenders that live in this area. In fact, they're spreading that search area out to another 5 miles so they can question an additional 37 sex offenders to see if maybe they had anything to do with her disappearance. But officers are saying that still they're no closer to finding her at this point.
We are showing you a zoomed out map with all 87 known registered sex offenders around the area there at Orange Park, Florida. And don't think this is unusual. Put your own zip code into the computer. Mark class, tell them how it's done, and I promise you all those little red dots will pop up just like there at Orange Park. Mark?
In fact, Nancy, about 630,000 orange dots will pop up throughout the country. Go on to classkids.org, check Megan's Law, pick your state, and it'll take you right to your state sex offender registry, or you could go to usdoj.gov, and they've got a national registry right there. It's absolutely mind-boggling how many of these individuals there are. It doesn't matter where you live in America, they are in your neighborhood.
Mark, look at your monitor. Look at this girl. She's 7. She's in the 2nd grade. A second grade little girl, completely defenseless. She's only unaccounted for less than 20 minutes. She's not alone. They're doing everything right. and
Yep.
she's gone. To Ellie Josette, our chief editorial producer. Ellie, what can you tell me about an alleged kidnap attempt just 1 week before, not far away? That little victim was about 5 years old.
Right, Nancy. This was 1 block away from where Summer went missing. It was 10 days ago. Apparently, this little girl, a little 5-year-old girl, riding her bike after school, is approached by a woman driving some type of blue sedan. It might have been a Nissan. The woman says, "Your mother told me to give you a ride. Get in the car." The little girl doesn't want to do it. There are also 2 men in the car. Luckily, a good Samaritan happened by while this was happening, saw the little girl trying to take off on her bike. The little girl is crying. The woman pulled over, said, "Do you know these people?" The girl said no. At that point, the car sped away once they realized this other woman had intervened, and it was a near miss for this other little girl.
And that was a Hispanic female with
Correct.
2 men in the back seat?
Also, just, yeah, 2 men in the car. Not sure if they're in the back seat. 2 men in the car, also described as Hispanic.
Norm, do we have Lisa Rucab with us yet? Joining us shortly will be the neighbor of this little girl's family, but right now there's actually a vigil going down for this little girl. The family, the neighborhood, the community, all together tonight praying for a break in this case. Back to Tiffany Griffith, WOKV. I understand that in a couple of hours, when it gets good and dark, they're going to go out with an infrared helicopter.
That's correct, and they said that this is going to be a 24-hour search. They're going to take those helicopters from overhead, search from overhead, keep seeking. They're also going to take their officers who are on the ground and keep searching through some very wooded areas within the area of this girl's home.
Legally, foul play is suspected due to the fact of the child's age, the size of the child, the cold weather last night, the fact that this is totally out of character for her, and we still haven't found her. That certainly is foul play.
I would like to know who is home in the house when the children come home from school, because it sounds like the mother called at 4 o'clock to check, and that's when they said that Sumner didn't come home. So that, to me, sounds like the children are home alone. Hopefully more will come out.